David Richard Berkowitz, known worldwide as the son of Sam or the 44 caliber killer, was born on June 1, 1953 in Brooklyn, New York. His life began with abandonment. His biological mother, Elizabeth Broder, was married to a man named Tony Falco, who had left her before David was born. When the baby arrived, Elizabeth could not afford to raise him and gave him up for adoption. Just days later, he was adopted by a middle-class Jewish couple, Nathan and Pearl Berkowitz, who could not have children of their own. They named him David Berkowitz, the name that would one day become infamous. As a child, David was described as troubled and difficult. He often felt different and disconnected from other children. Despite his adoptive parents trying to provide a stable home, David developed signs of emotional instability, low self-esteem, and social difficulties. He displayed unusual behavior early on, including an obsession with starting fires and a fascination with violence. At school, he was considered an average student, but often caused disciplinary problems. In his teenage years, his life became more unstable. When he was 14, his adoptive mother, Pearl, died of cancer. This loss deeply affected David, leaving him even more isolated. His father soon remarried and moved to Florida, leaving David largely on his own in New York. During this period, he engaged in petty crimes such as theft and vandalism. At 18 in 1971, Berkowitz enlisted in the U.S. Army. He was stationed in South Korea as an infantryman. His military service was uneventful. He was competent but not exceptional. After 3 years, he was honorably discharged in 1974 and returned to New York. Back in civilian life, Berkowitz struggled. He worked simple jobs, but had no long-term stability. He reconnected with his biological mother, but instead of healing, the encounter deepened his feelings of rejection and abandonment. By the mid-1970s, his mental state deteriorated. Berkowitz began to believe he was being controlled by demons and claimed that dogs were delivering messages to him, ordering him to kill. He specifically said that his neighbor Sam Carr's dog was possessed and demanding blood. This delusion became the foundation of his identity as the son of Sam. His killing spree began in July 1976. Armed with a .44 caliber revolver, Berkowitz targeted young couples sitting in parked cars. His first attack left one woman seriously injured and another wounded. From that moment, he unleashed a series of shootings that terrified New York City. Between 1976 and 1977, Berkowitz killed 6 people and wounded 7 others in seemingly random shootings. The media gave him the nickname .44 caliber killer, but he later cemented his identity by writing taunting letters to police and newspapers, signing them as Son of Sam. The letters were filled with bizarre threats and cryptic symbols, intensifying the panic in the city. New York lived in fear. People avoided going out at night, especially young couples. The police launched one of the largest manhunts in city history, but for months Berkowitz eluded capture. His downfall came in August 1977, after his final attack, which killed 20-year-old Stacy Moskowitz. Witnesses helped police trace him. Investigators discovered that Berkowitz's car had been ticketed for a parking violation near the crime scene. On August 10, 1977, police surrounded his apartment in the Bronx. Inside his car, they found the .44 revolver. Berkowitz was arrested without resistance. When questioned, he quickly confessed, declaring, "I am the son of Sam." In 1978, he stood trial. Although he initially claimed he was driven by demonic forces, psychiatrists deemed him mentally competent. Berkowitz pled guilty to all the murders and was sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms, amounting to over 300 years in prison. Behind bars, Berkowitz continued to draw attention. During the 1980s, he received huge media coverage and even fan mail from people fascinated by his crimes, but over time he claimed to have changed. In the mid-1980s, Berkowitz said he had converted to Christianity, renouncing the name Son of Sam and calling himself the Son of Hope. He began writing letters and religious messages, expressing remorse and warning others not to follow his path. To this day, David Berkowitz remains incarcerated in the New York prison system. Now in his 70s, he has repeatedly stated that he does not want to be released, even though he is technically eligible for parole hearings. He insists that his life's mission is now spiritual and that he carries deep regret for his crimes. The story of David Berkowitz remains one of the most infamous in American criminal history. His combination of delusions, taunting letters, and the climate of terror he created in New York during the late 1970s turned him into one of the most notorious serial killers the United States has ever known.